Hey guys, Tennessee Yankee. Welcome back to the channel. Absolutely gorgeous fall day 2023 here in East Tennessee. I'm going to start a project, a winterization project, and I have absolutely no idea how it's going to turn out. I'm going to take you along with it, and we'll see how it goes, if it's a complete bust or if it's successful. And I got quite a bit invested into it right now, but basically what I want to do is a little winterization project on the pontoon boat, because just this year I bought a new cover for it and a new summer cover, and the summer covers are very expensive. I think this one was around $2,300 or something. It's just insane what they get for those. And my last one lasted about 5 years, and but it's out in the weather 24/7, 365, because my boat never comes out of the water. It just stays in all winter. I do a few little things like removing the battery and kind of covering up the engine with a heavy duty trash bag and then putting the engine back in the water, but my leg never freezes, so I just leave it in all winter. And I think that plays a little extra hard toll on the sunbrella cover. Now, my previous cover wasn't a sunbrella. This one is, so I think it's a little bit better quality than what came originally on it. But what I want to do, and the whole reason for this long intro, is I want to come up with a way to see if I can, at least for 6-7 months out of the year, cover up my summer cover, because again, this stays down at the dock, and I want it to look halfway presentable because it sits there year round. It's not in my backyard. It doesn't get trailered and stored for the winter. But what I want to do is, my idea is I bought a really heavy duty 16 gauge tarp, and I want to find a way to secure that to the boat over my existing cover for the winter, just to give all that extra protection, and maybe get a few extra years out of my cover. So right now I've already got about $200 to $250 invested into stuff to make this happen, but you know, I already shared the expense of the summer cover, so if I can get just 2 or 3 more years out of that, it's well worth it for me to do this upfront investment to try to protect that. So with that said, let me show you what I put together that I think may work on the cover for the winter, and we'll see once we get, I probably won't do it today, I'll do it maybe next weekend, where I go ahead and try to actually put it together, and we'll see if it works and if it survives the winter, or maybe we'll decide when we get into it next weekend that half of this stuff's going back to Amazon and it was not the greatest idea. So let's get after it, and appreciate you tuning in. All right, as I look around at what's here, I said I probably had $200 to $250. I think I got closer to $250 to $300 into stuff here, unfortunately, but my hope is maybe some of these things won't be all needed, and some of them can go back. But let me start out with the main component here that I got. And again, when I'm buying stuff off of Amazon, I usually just try to get the highest rated stuff I can find. And it's kind of hard, like a lot of times I buy things like this at Harbor Freight, but I really did some measurements on the boat, and I found what I wanted was like a 12 by 25, and I couldn't get that anywhere at Harbor Freight. So I got this one on Amazon. They had like 2 choices in this size. And again, this wasn't a cheap tarp. I think this tarp at the time was like 70 to 80 bucks, or maybe even 90, I don't know. But it's it looks pretty good, and the reviews said, you know, hey, it's awesome. So let me kind of show you what I liked about it is it's even got this all along the edge here. It's got this ribbing on the inside, and then it's double stitched over there. It just seems like it's extra thick on the edge. And what I thought about doing for the securing points is I could go ahead and put extra grommets in here, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't even know that the grommets I have are like weatherproof. So what I found, and these were also very highly rated, let me see if I'm in the camera here, but there are these cool little clamp things that go on to the tarp itself, And then you can just use your little bungee cord here. And you know, and you've seen in my other videos, how much I love the bigger bungees. These are the kind of the same version. So how this works is you can just basically pick various spots. Instead of having to put your grommets on and make sure they're exactly where you want them, you can just clamp this down on here, and those teeth grab in. They don't really tear it apart. They just grab into that tarp nice. And then you just take this bungee and run it through. And then the different points where I want to pull it, sorry about that, different points where I want to pull it along the boat, this is what I plan to hook to the boat. So my idea is that this is going to lay over my existing cover, and then I'll secure it on the edges. So one of my dilemmas is, how in the heck am I going to secure this on the edge of my pontoon? Because I do have like a 4.5-inch rail. And the rail is tight against the pontoon. There's no place for me to like hook an S-hook under it or hook a bungee under it. So what I came up with, and this is what kind of added to the expense, was I got these 5-inch C-clamps off Amazon. And I thought, you know what I'm going to do? Because my rail is about 4.5 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these in probably about 5 different spots on each side of the boat. And then I will use this C-clamp as actually my area that I can hook my bungee to. Whether or not I just run the bungee under here and let it hang, or I got some of these, for some areas like in the front of the boat, I don't need to use the clamps. I can just go right under the rail. So I just grabbed some stainless S-hooks. This was a great deal for a huge like 25 pack of S-hooks, stainless S-hooks. And then I'll just run the bungees into these. And then toward the back of my boat, I'm probably just going to tie it off in a few places around my rail or whatever. So when I was at Harbor Freight, I just got some extra, you know, cheap bungees and stuff like that just to have around. So my hope with some of these clamps, I got these clamps, these were $5 a piece, but they're really nice clamps. So I'm hoping I only need like 8 or 10 of them. I bought 15 of them right now. But hopefully I can return some of those. And then one of the other big investments I had to do, not huge, but these were like, I don't know, $37 a piece or something. You may have already seen, if you watch any of my other videos, that I did a review on this this extra mushroom cover, basically stand. So I already have one of these in my boat because my new cover was a little looser than my previous one and I needed to take up some slack. So I already have one of these down at the boat. I bought 2 more just because I'm thinking I'm adding all this extra weight to the winter cover, and I want to make sure I'm not stressing my existing poles too much. So I got these extra 2 to run down the length of the boat to give me extra support. And then of course the other concern is I certainly don't want to do anything to ruin my existing cover by trying to protect it over the winter. So I have this idea that I am going to use a pool noodle. I have all these old pool noodles laying around that were for old floaties and things like that. And then I got some rope from Harbor Freight. So my idea is once the right before I put the tarp on, I'm going to pick various areas to just kind of drape these over the existing cover and give a little bit of airflow area between the existing cover and the winter cover. So I figured if I did like 4 or 5 of these, and then maybe just had a tie off just like a little section down towards the bottom of each, down towards the latching part of the cover, that may give me the airflow I need. So I'm going through a lot of screwing around here to try to protect this cover. And again, it's something I don't even know if it's going to work or not. So we'll take you along. But I've done a lot of research trying to figure out what people do for winter covers. And I really haven't found a solution online because most people that do store their boat over the winter, it's not in the lake. And, they just make a completely separate tarp or a PVC frame for it and do all these special things in their backyard, which would be great for me, but if I was doing that, but I need it, again, this stays at the community dock all winter, so I just kind of need it to not look too Jed Clampish. So I'm going to try to make it look as neat as possible just to get it through the winter. Okay, so you're still with me. That's good. Thought I might have lost you in that long intro, but next time you see me, we're going to go down. We'll be down at the boat. We'll be trying to put this together. One of the funny things that we figured out is, to do some of these clamps on the other side of the boat, I'm going to probably have to get on like the paddle board or something to get around to the side of the boat. So when we do this cover next weekend, probably had a camera or two set up. Probably won't really be talking too much through it. And then maybe I'll come back and narrate it a little bit because it'll be next to impossible to try to do this and film it at the same time. So we'll set it up that way next weekend, and you can kind of see the process of it going on, and then we'll recap. If it's successful and it works, we'll show you the end product. So, all right, the time has come. So I'm down at the boat. I'm going to winterize my engine. So like I said before, I leave my boat in the water all year round. So what I like to do is I need to put the engine back in the water to prevent things from freezing. The lake doesn't freeze, but you might have water built up in the engine that you could freeze some lines or something that you don't want to be frozen. So what I do is I usually cover up the prop with these trash bags, just to that way when it goes back in the water, it doesn't look all nasty when it comes out the next spring, and it stays clean. So what I do is I take two of these really heavy duty, I don't even know what this is, like 30, 40, 50 gallon bag or something, and I lawn and leaf bag, and I just double them up. And then we'll air it out here. See if I can line up both of these handles. Now we got a double thickness, and I'm just going to go ahead and start putting this on my engine. This to the boat, I just use zip ties, so I got 4 longer zip ties here just tied together to make one big one. And I think that'll cinch around there tight enough. If not, I'll use one of my famous bungees. So this is the tricky part. You kind of got to have everything ready to go. So there's my ounce of prevention. It's going to make for a nice clean prop come springtime. Guess what? I'm one zip tie short. Let me grab another one. And let's see where I want to do this one. Maybe a little higher if I can get it. All right, I think that'll do it. And now we'll just stick the engine back down. Alright, now I'll throw my cover on. I just bought this new again this year. My last one wore out from the sun, so I got this cover, which is just extra nice. Keep all the sun off your cowling. So here's my battery setup. So let me show you this. I got a double battery system with the switch. So right now it's turned to battery 1, which is here, and then I got an off switch and then battery 2. And I keep battery 2 over here, but battery 2 is not, well, battery 2 is here right now. I thought I already took it out. This battery I've had in here since 2018. It's completely dead. So I bought this battery this year, brand new. Halfway through the season, this number 2 battery just got to the point of no return. So I guess in August. So I haven't replaced it. I'll put a new one in next spring. So all I do now is I'll take these out for the winter. And then what I do over the winter is I'll just keep this on a tender and, you know, turn it on every couple weeks just to keep it charged throughout the winter. So that's not a half inch. 9/16. Always bring extra batteries. I always bring extra wrenches because I can never remember if this is a half inch or 9/16. This one's 9/16. So what I like to do here so I don't lose all my negative components is, once I take them off the battery here, I'm just going to take an extra step and run a zip tie through them so they'll be all together for the spring. And there's only 2 components that go to the positive. That. And I like to do that because it'd be easy to get this one mixed up, and does this go negative or positive come springtime, so we'll just keep it with the positive terminal. Alright, so we'll see you in the spring, Mr. Interstate Battery. By the way, this is a marine battery. I got this guy from Costco. Man, huge savings over the Marina. So I would suggest that if you got a Costco or a Sam's, just get your marine batteries from there. And my second battery, this is why you always want to bring your extra wrenches, because my second battery actually had 1/2 inch nuts on it. My first one had 9/16 nuts on it. And then there's no other components as far as terminal wires on this backup battery, so just got the negative and the positive that sits in there. Alright friends, this is where our redneck engineering is going to come into play for this winter. So this could be where the entertainment starts. I'm going to get on the paddleboard. I talked to you before, my goal is I'm going to get on the side. Maybe I'll put these in about 5 places along the side of this rail here, and then we'll have something to secure our bungees to. I guess the smartest thing to do is I'll stick them there for now while I navigate on this paddleboard. And then we'll put the cover on after I get some of these on. I just wanted to get these on before we get too carried away with the regular summer cover. Wish me luck. This doesn't have a lot of air in it right now. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I think we might have, maybe you should have put a little bit more air in this. And look, I can't really turn easily on the edge of the board. But hey, I got shorts on, and I'm here to provide entertainment for you. You know what somebody smart would have done as well is they would have opened these ahead of time. Alright guys, so I just had a humorous thought. So I'm putting these on. So this was my idea. The reason I got the paddleboard is because typically my neighbor is right here, and my neighbor just went out on their boat. So after I already got on the paddleboard and got a little wet here, I'm like, well, how come I'm on the paddleboard? Because I could just pull the dock over to the other side for this. But I'm already here, and might as well just do what I planned, because that's all part of the entertainment. You notice I got the sexy leg roll going here too. Okay, I think I'm going to go to the back and then space it out in the middle. Helps if I close it up the right way. Can't wait to see, guys, after I upload this, how many other better ideas you're going to have for me. That should do it. And now let's go to the center, where I think the center will be. Seems like about right here. Come on, baby. Stay with me. Come on. A little tight. There we go. All right, now we'll split that difference. Right about here. The reason I had to do this again, guys, is because there's just nowhere for me under here to grab on. The other side, I think I'll be able to do that. I don't know that I'll have to use the clamps over there because for whatever reason, it's a lot less tight on that side. I'd say this is about half. We'll get kind of at each buoy. That's going to do it. I did it. Have this just for extra cover protection. So guys, I showed you that I got extra supports here because I feel like we're gonna have all this extra weight, so I want to just have something other than these poles here. And then right above the camera is a big sagging part. So I'm going to put one more down in here. It works though, right?
Yeah.
Hoping to get a few more years out of the expensive cover. And it helps that it's such a nice day that I keep getting an audience. Okay. Not there. Do a bunch in here. I think this is my last stainless S-hook that I got on the paddleboard, which is about fine because I think I need to regroup. That's pretty tight. Any opinions, Miss Cody?
On how many more to do, or
Yeah.
let me quit filming and I'll come look.
Pool noodles in here now for some ventilation. Redneck pool noodles. Looks like I'm going to need a tie off here.
Tell us what you're doing.
Well, I decided I need one more clamp down here on this side. The redneck project is progressing. If you ask me if I would do it again from scratch, if I knew what was involved, I'd probably say no, but we're too far committed to stop now. And so far, it seems to be working as planned. So I just was going through putting in some noodles here for a little extra airflow, but I think I need to pull this part a little bit tighter. So we gotta go through our setup, which means we'll take a stainless S-hook, stick this through here, tighten it up. Try not to lose your pliers in the lake. All right, and that's not really going anywhere. Let's see now if I can just kind of stick one of these guys up here. This is kind of a dead zone right here, so I don't know how much good they do. I'll just stick one there. Stick another one up here. All right. I think that's going to be pretty good. All right, guys, so let me give you a recap on where we ended up with this project. You know, like I said, some of this was kind of hard to film, so we didn't get everything, but I think overall it turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. So you can see what I did in the back here, pretty much using a lot of my longer bungees that I had. I showed you those short bungees with the clips. I use those in a few spots, but pretty much I ended up using my longer ball bungees in a lot of spots, and then I would attach those stainless S-hooks to them. So you can see here in the back, I ran things to the cleat, and then I ran things to the tow bar, and then back to the other cleat. So just gives it kind of a nice open air thing in the back that's pulling it down. And then all on the side, it's just ball bungees for the most part, and then hooked under the rail with the S-hook. And then over here, I had to slit the cover to go around the bimini, so we just kind of slit it and took some Gorilla Tape to different spots for a little extra reinforcement there. And then all throughout the top here, so I think I have a little bit of footage, but I had went ahead and put in those extra supports, those tripod supports in the middle, and then I have one down here at the back too, to kind of bring this section up right here. So that seems to be working pretty good. And then down here in the front, there was a few places where I just kind of did some fold over wraps. So you can see the summer cover peeking in just a few spots, but overall I think that's going to give us some pretty good winter protection. On this side, you saw me screwing around trying to put some of those clamps on. I think what I'll do next spring, if this works out for me over the winter, I think next spring I'll go in there with a flat bladed screwdriver or something and try to pull out that rail so I can do the same thing on this side as that I did on the other side, so I don't have to use those clamps. But having it being in the water and me not having a lot of leverage, it was kind of hard to do that, so I just went with the clamps this time. But those seem to work pretty good. I used 2, 4, 6 clamps on this side, and that got me quite a bit of coverage. And then one last thing I did that you don't see here, I went over several sections, and I just ended up putting pieces of pool noodles in there just to give it little extra air pockets in there, so there's extra airflow in between the summer cover and the winter tarp. So I think that's going to do it for this project. So hopefully this will give you a little inspiration if you want to try this. And I appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you next time. Hey guys, Tennessee Yankee. Thanks for watching. If you found this content helpful, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on your right. I have other content linked for you on the left side. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Thanks again for watching.